In 1986, a movie came out starring Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis, written by David Cronenberg, who's actually a Canadian. And in that movie called The Fly, the phrase was coined, "Be afraid, be very afraid." We hear it all the time. It's kind of become part of our collective consciousness now. Be afraid, be very afraid. And we hear it and we say it all the time. And sometimes it's tongue in cheek. But at the end of the day, I think, and it's been my observation over the last few months, that people would prefer to be afraid. People prefer to be afraid as opposed to having hope. Now, being aware of a danger isn't a bad thing. I mean, guys that aren't aware of dangers have a tendency to live very short lives. I mean, people who aren't aware of their environment or don't take heed to certain dangers have a shorter lifespan. We understand that. But the problem is we allow ourselves to be gripped by fear so that we can justify inaction or we can justify not trusting God. And it's crazy. See, I'm standing here on actually a job that I'm working on, and there is a height issue. I don't like heights. Actually, I don't really have a problem with heights. What I do have a problem with is very short trips going straight down and very quick stops at ends. I'm afraid of falling. I don't want to hit the ground. But it doesn't stop me from doing my job. Sometimes it makes me a little overcautious, but having fear can just bring us awareness of dangers. But when fear grips us and keeps us from doing what God has called us to do, or trusting Him, or having faith, or allowing God to use situations to grow us and to give us a greater understanding of who He is, if we allow fear to take that away, we lose our capacity to love, we lose our power to change, and we lose the ability to think clearly. Because God has not given us a spirit of fear, not a spirit of fear, but of love and power and a sound mind. Yes, He's given us fear to make us aware and make us conscious of our environment around us, but that is not meant to hobble us. It's meant for us to be wise in how we proceed. But that's what God calls us to do. Proceed, follow me, move forward, step out of our comfort zone and into a place of where only God has control, where we are weak and He is made strong. I got to build some stuff even higher. I got to go up on the roof, and I'm not going to like it, but I'm going to do it. There's a lot of things that we're not going to like, but we should do. I encourage you, do not be gripped by fear. Live in hope. Live in the recognition that God is in control, and He's got you in the palm of His hand, and there's nothing to fear. Blessings. We'll talk to you soon.